What's up guys, Justin here, and I just want to provide you an update about what's going on with me. And so recently, 2 nights ago, I was supposed to fly on Philippine Airlines to from Manila to Los Angeles, and then I had a different connecting flight from Los Angeles to Phoenix, Arizona. And I was going to stay there. I had a hotel picked out for like just over a week, and then I was going to fly to New York to visit my family, and then I was going to return back in January to Manila. But something horrible unfortunately happened. I'm still traumatized by it. It's pretty tragic, and I still emotionally processing everything that happened. But when I went to go to my the airport, Naia airport. So first of all, there was this could have been a better day. So my flight ticket said Terminal 2, so I went to Terminal 2. And then when I got to Terminal 2, I was actually Terminal 1, so I went to Terminal 1. But even before that, it was a Friday evening, so I tried to book a Grab at 5:40, and then that wasn't working. So Mia was able to book me a Grab at 7:15. So for literally like an hour and 40 minutes, it took us. We were both calling Grabs and Joyrides on both apps for 4-seaters or 6-seaters on two phones, and we were both outside on the main streets of Estrella and whatever that other road is over there, trying to hail a taxi for almost 2 hours. I could not get a taxi because it was so busy Friday evening. So my flight was supposed to leave at 10 p.m. and I tried getting a Grab at 5:40 p.m. I got picked up at 7:15 p.m. and I got dropped off at the wrong terminal at like 8:35 p.m. I got to Terminal 2, the correct terminal, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. I got to Terminal 1, the correct terminal, from Terminal 2 at probably about 9 p.m. And then I showed the guy at the entrance my flight ticket. I got in. They looked through my luggage, and they told me you cannot have, for Philippine Airlines, you cannot have gadgets like electronics inside of the check-in bags. And I said, okay. And like none of those things have lithium-ion batteries or whatever. So they're like, okay, whatever. So I went to check in my iMac. It's a 24-inch 2021 blue iMac. You might have seen it in some of my vlogs or videos. And I bought a $400 case that it comes in to keep it safe from damages and stuff like that. And they would not let me check in this iMac. There was a miscommunication because the man at the counter during the check-in said, "Sir, do you have any electronics in these bags?" And I said, "Electronics? I mean, yeah, it's 2022. Everything uses electric, right?" What I think he meant to ask me in that moment was, do you have anything in these bags that contain lithium-ion batteries? Since this happened 2 nights ago, he did not ask me that question. So I did. He asked me the other question. I said, "Yes, I have a computer in here." He said, "Sir, you have to carry on all your electronics and gadgets. You can't check in electronics or gadgets." And I said, "I can't, it's too big." And then I kind of like totally lost my mind for a minute and got like full of anger. And I'm like, "Look, I've checked this this computer in. It has no lithium-ion batteries. I've checked it in to many countries and many airlines many times, never a problem. There shouldn't be a problem. Just, please allow me to check this bag in." So him and I were going back and forth for 30 minutes. I was yelling very loud. I was very intense. I was obviously frustrated. It took me 5.5 hours. I don't know. It took me a very long time to get to the airport, about 4 or 5 hours to get to the airport. And I was low on energy, and I wasn't thinking clearly. But long story short, at about 9:38 p.m., about 22 minutes before my flight was supposed to leave, they told me, "Okay, sir, we can make an exception, and we can let you check these bags in." At that point, I was physically and mentally and emotionally exhausted from this whole exchange of words, and I was being loud and intense. And I said, "Okay, well, if we can do that, sure, let's do it." But I thought to myself, there's no way they're going to wait for me. They said, "Don't worry, sir, we can escort you through customs, or to customs, so you can go to the front of the line. And we'll take your bags, we'll get you checked in, we'll get you taken care of." And I'm like, "All right, let's do it." And at this point, it's like 9:45 p.m. The flight's supposed to leave in 15 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they're going to like delay the flight for me, one guy. And he's like, "Oh, hold on, sir, let me go double check." And he goes and double checks, and he's like, You're right, sir, I'm sorry, we can't hold the flight, there's nothing we can do." I'm like, "All right, no problem." And they said, "You can go to the ticket office over there if you want to rebook." And I'm like, "It's fine, I'm just going to book a Grab and go home and sort this out later tomorrow." So next day happens, which was yesterday. Basically, I'm sorry, my arm's getting tired. So what happened from here is I rebooked the flight. Instead of going to California this time, I book it for New York just to see my family first. And then they're going to make me pay basically $346 extra to change the flight. And even if it was going to the same destination, they were going to charge me $346 extra. They marked me as a no-show, even though I was physically present there. They had me on file as a no-show, as if I didn't show up. Okay, I got stopped from being able to go on the flight because the rules about what you can check in your baggage in the Philippines is confusing and unclear. And I'm pretty sure it's lithium-ion batteries that they don't want to allow you to check in because they're combustible under pressure. They're flammable. They can create a fire in the luggage area, and the fire extinguishers down there can't control it. So you have to carry those items on, right? But an iMac does not have a lithium-ion batteries, and there's no risk of that. And the TSA website, the Transportation Security Administration for U.S. government, literally says you can check in desktops both in carry-ons and in luggage. And the Aviation Administration website for U.S. government says the same thing also. So tomorrow night, I'm going to try to fly to JFK with those two documents through Philippine Airlines again, and try to, basically go through try this again. But the crazy thing is, like, I had to cancel so many flights. Okay, I had 11 nights booked at the Hilton, which is a $1,200 reservation. Thank God they refunded me the money. The Hilton Hotel in Phoenix, Arizona, refunded me the money. Thank God. I didn't know if they would, so I got the $1,200 back. Southwest Airlines refunded like 90%. Like, basically, I had an early bird thing they wouldn't refund, but Southwest refunded both of my flights. And I called Philippine Airlines just now just to ask them, like, hey, is there any chance I can refund this ticket? Because I spent $1,600 on the round trip with Philippine Airlines just for economy class, and an additional $346 to rebook it because I was a no-show, right? Even though I was clearly there. But the reason why this was traumatizing for me, and it shocked me and freaked me out, was not just the fact that, like, I'm 31 years old. I have never missed a flight in my entire life. I have never missed a flight. So that was the first reason it shocked me. The second reason was, it screwed up all my plans for going back to Arizona to sell stuff in my storage unit before I went to, New York to visit my family before I was going to return to the Philippines. So all my plans just went out the window because one guy didn't ask me if there's lithium-ion batteries in my bag versus is there electronics or gadgets. So I obviously should have responded by asking an intelligent question, but I did not. I should have said, what kind of electronics? Because they're looking for power banks, they're looking for lithium-ion batteries, they're looking for MacBooks, iPads, iPhones, things that contain lithium-ion batteries like that. They want you to carry on. That's all perfect, fine, and good. 99% of the people watching this video are never going to have this problem because most people come in and out of Philippines with just a laptop, and they're going to carry it on anyway. But for me, I'm the one weirdo who has an iMac computer with a big check-in case that's built for it. I'm the one weirdo who has that, and they were unprepared for it. I was unprepared for it because I checked that bad boy in from America to Thailand, Bangkok. I checked it in from Bangkok to Manila. Never had a problem bringing that anywhere, okay? And then the Philippines, of course, is going to be a problem, right? And of course, it took me, 2 hours longer, 3 hours longer to get to the airport than I should have known to. So what could I have done differently? I should have showed up with a cup of coffee in my hand. I should have tried booking the Grab at 3 or 4 p.m. instead of 5:40 p.m. But, it was a tough day. I was being sentimental. I wanted to spend as much time as possible with Mia because, I'm going to miss my girlfriend, right? So I was feeling sentimental. I was feeling sad. So I wanted to stay with Mia longer. So I started trying to get the Grab at 5:40, knowing that the flight was going to leave at 10 p.m. I was going to try to get picked up by 6 p.m., get there by 7 p.m. And I don't know why I thought that was possible on a Friday night. Mia warned me and said, Justin, you should probably book your Grab a lot sooner than 5 or whatever. But I didn't because I wanted to spend more time with her because I was going to be away for 4 weeks. So yeah, it's been an emotionally rough experience. And unfortunately, I think I'm getting sick. I really hope I'm not. I was under so much pressure and stress getting to the airport because it's just difficult in Philippines. It's just things are done differently in the airports here. And it's just unpredictable. For example, you have to get in a line to get inside the airport. You have to prove you have a ticket just so you can get inside. And then once you get in there, before you get to the check-in counter, you have to open up your bags. And mine have security locks, so I had to do 4 security locks to open up both of my bags. And then they look through all your clothes and personal belongings, and they look through all of your check-in stuff with you right in the middle of the airport before you get to the thing. That's the first time I've ever encountered or experienced that. And then you get there, and they ask you this, more questions that, do you have electronics in your bag? Like, yeah, I do, because it's 2022, but what do you mean exactly by electronics? Because 99% of my electronics I was going to carry on, except for the ones that won't fit in a carry-on, like my iMac. So, I'm the one weirdo who has an iMac, and I couldn't get on my flight, and my hotel reservations, my connecting flights, my whole plan just went out the window and put me in a state of shock, And then I knew it was going to be tricky. I knew I knew that if I rebooked the flight, they were going to charge me extra money, and I knew that they weren't going to refund that extra money. And I knew if I wanted to get a refund on the whole thing, they wouldn't do it, because I'm like, next time I'm probably just going to go through like Korean Air or Japan Air or literally any other airline. It's like nothing against Philippines, but oh my God, they literally put me in so much emotional distress. Seriously, I had anger, I felt hatred. The intensity of my emotions was not me, Justin Spencer. I felt all of these horrible emotions to the point where I literally almost feel physically sick a day or two later because of how angry I was that I missed my flight. And I feel like it was 50% my fault, but largely their fault because our communication with the English language was not happening. It wasn't working. I was saying things and the guy could not understand me, and he just kept repeating himself. And he told me, sir, it's not my problem. I'm sorry. It's the protocols. It's for your own safety. I'm trying to explain to him, this Apple computer is not a fucking bomb. You know, it's not going to blow up. It's in a $400 military grade case where it's locked, right? So yes, I'm upset. I'm literally swearing because I don't want to miss my flight. I'm already running late because the Manila traffic took me forever to get to the airport. You know what I mean? So it was super stressful. All that being said, guys and gals, thank you for watching this vlog. Thank you for watching this channel. So from here on out, I'm going to take a break from doing the vlogs, I think, just because I need time to make sure that I'm not sick. I have to prepare for the flight tomorrow night to go into JFK. It's a 15-hour, 25-minute flight that I don't feel mentally or emotionally ready or prepared for. And then right after I booked that flight, because I didn't do my due diligence because I'm emotionally compromised right now, I learned that there's literally no flights out, and I'd have to spend even more money on a New York hotel and the New York taxis in New York City, which is where I'll be landing because it's not my hometown. So I'm gonna probably have to stay overnight for like 10 hours in the JFK if I want to save $250, which I would prefer because the cheapest hotels there, right, are $110 plus tax. And the cheapest taxis are going to be $50 to $75 to bring you a quarter of a mile wherever your hotel is. So I don't want to waste $200. I'd rather just sleep in the airport for 10 hours. It's kind of like making $25 an hour to just stay in the airport and just lay down on the stairs or the whatever. But it's just, because, you know, it's just, I'm probably going to go through Chase, the customer dispute process for the 346, rather than go to Philippine Airlines. And it's just been crazy, man. I've never felt this much. I've been in Philippines 6 months. I have never felt those emotions ever. And I know the man who was doing his job, he even told me, he's like, sir, I don't make the rules, I just enforce the rules. I'm like, look, man, I get it, but just so you have the knowledge, like, there's nothing wrong with what I'm trying to do here. There's not hazardous or dangerous materials in this thing. Just let me check in the iMac. You know, there's no battery, there's no lithium-ion battery in it. But anyway, it was all a miscommunication and confusion. So tomorrow night, what I'm going to do differently, I'm going to get to the airport way earlier so I'm not under so much pressure, because that was the first mistake. The second mistake is I didn't bring coffee to give myself energy so I could think clearly, so I could ask better questions, so I could solve a problem on the fly. The third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Mia with me this time, even though she can't enter the airport, so that if they will not let me bring the iMac again, I'll have her bring it back to the apartment, and I'll just bring the case that it comes in because I wanted to sell that when I get back to the United States. The fourth thing I'll do is, I had two more things. I'm going to bring a TSA document and also the AAV or whatever the other one's called. The TSA and then the American Aviation, whatever that one is. I printed out two documents that basically say the U.S. government allows you to check in desktop computers, which is what, and you know, it's what it is. It's not a MacBook which has a lithium-ion battery. You plug it into an outlet. So it's just one misunderstanding like that. It totally traumatized me and shocked me. I mean, I was talking to myself yesterday for like 6 hours to just give myself therapy. And I was talking to Mia, I was talking to my mom, I was talking to my friends. I've never missed a flight in my 31 years of being alive. So I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just saying this has been my experience. And it's just been rough. It's super, super rough because that plan, my original plan was so well thought out and it was such a convenient plan. I really had all my chips in that plan, and now I have to do a completely different plan. I have to be on the flight way longer, and then I have I have to sleep in the airport now for 10 hours unless I want to drop hundreds of dollars on the cheapest hotel and cheapest taxis I can find in New York City, you know. So it just sucks. So before, I had this beautiful hotel lined up in Phoenix. All my flights were, you know, bang, 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 bang. So it was a smooth process. Now it's going to be super rocky, bumpy, you know, the word is unpredictable. And yeah, so that's what happens when you're unprepared, when you get to the airport, it's crazy though. Like, it's 5:40, it's before 6 o'clock. I was trying to get to the airport at 5:40 p.m. Leaves at 10 p.m. I couldn't even get there until like 8:45, 9 p.m. It was nuts. So That part was my bad. I totally underestimated Friday evening traffic. I should have prearranged a private driver. I know. I'll take 50% of the blame because they ultimately said, okay, sure, we can make an exception and you can check these bags in. That's what they said. But they made that exception, instead of making that exception, at 9:15, where I would have had enough time maybe to get through customs and immigration and security. They made that exception with like 20 minutes before the flight was supposed to leave and for 5 minutes before the gate was going to be sealed. So it's difficult. And yeah, so I'm not going to upload daily like I have been for the last 100+ days probably. I'm probably going to need to take a week to just recuperate, recover, focus on getting to New York, focus on spending time with my family for the holidays. I do want to vlog New York. I do want to vlog Arizona and share what I'm doing with you guys because I appreciate you guys so much. So yeah, wish me luck for tomorrow night. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. And I just want to let you know there's no negative energy or negative sentiment or criticism intended. I mean, this was just a simple miscommunication on both people's sides, and it's emotions get really high when you have a very important flight and you don't want to miss that flight. The emotions get really high, and because it wasn't about just missing the flight, I had other flights lined up that I already paid for, and we're talking thousands of dollars in hotels and other flights and plans and expectations. None of it just went out the window, up in flames. And the one good thing about all this was I got to spend an extra 2 nights with Mia, so that's great. But then I have to go through that whole process of kind of feeling sad and sentimental again, tomorrow evening when we do actually hopefully part ways. But the whole principle here, and I know this video is getting very long, but I'm sorry, but the whole principle here is I cannot allow someone to tell me or control me and say to me, sir, you cannot bring this with you to your home country of the United States. Because I know I'm coming back to Philippines, right? But what if I wasn't? What if I was going back to the US permanently to stay there? Like, he's trying to tell me I cannot bring my $3,000 computer? Okay? Are you kidding me? Like, at that point, I'll just book another airline. I'll go with Korea Air or Japan Air. Like, if that's your policy and you're unwilling to flex on it, or maybe you think there's a lithium-ion battery in this, but they ended up making an exception later, but it's just too late. So all of this is a true story. And when I went to rebook it, they had me flagged in the system as a no-show, to add salt to the wound, and charged me another $346 to rebook my flight. And I don't know about you, but $400, if someone else makes a mistake, or someone, and my net worth gets lowered $400, and I also lose all this time and energy, money, frustration, and now I might be becoming physically sick. I really hope I'm not, but I feel like I could be. I feel under the weather today, but I'm gonna drink water and rest and sleep, get ready for tomorrow night. But it's just the principle. I'm not okay with someone controlling me. I don't care what country it is. I don't care what the rules are. Like, there's got to be some flexibility there, man. And there's got to be some investigation. And if you're not sure if I can bring the Apple Mac computer, like, go get 10 other people who have experience with this, because I know I was trying to tell him I have experience with this. I've checked this computer in multiple airlines, multiple countries, multiple times. No headaches, no issues, no problem. And it's like only in the Philippines where you get thrown a curveball where you can't even check your bags in. And then if that's the theme of what I have to continuously go through sometimes, I'm just thinking to myself, like, I can't take it. It's unreasonable for me, It's too much. It's too much. So I'm like, what's the solution? My girlfriend's like, Justin, everyone who works in all the airlines here, they're all Filipino. That same rule might apply to Korean Airlines, Japan Airlines. They might have the same rule or the same belief that you can't check in an Apple MacBook. You might just have to be stuck. Your computer's stuck here forever in this country. $3,000 computer. I don't know. I really hope that's not the case. But like I kept telling you, they did make an exception. So anyway, this video is getting really long, and I just want to let you know I'm probably not going to be uploading some vlogs for the next couple of days. I haven't missed a single day in over 100 days, but this issue has got my full attention at this point, and I'm not willing to, just leave I know I'm coming back here, and I could leave the computer here, but it's the principle. It's the mindset of I need to use the computer anyway to work. Like, I don't want to use my little MacBook Air. The screen is about this big. When I'm editing my YouTube vlogs, I need to see what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. But these are some of the things that you might go through if you want to exit the Philippines. And I could give you more stories about the Philippines when it comes to airlines and stuff. Crazy stories. This is just one crazy story that makes no sense. So unexpected, unpredictable. Sometimes when you're leaving the Philippines, the most unpredictable things can happen to you. If you're a foreigner or a local, you never know. You don't know what you're gonna expect. Wild things you would never expect in your wildest imagination. I feel like you gotta prepare yourself for that. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, I'll see you again soon. Hopefully sooner than later. Bye for now.